All right, we're going to be looking at the BCD method of solving a quadratic equation by factoring. All right, what does BCD stand for? All right, Berry method. This is something new. Chicago method. You may have heard of it. And D, the diamond method. Everybody should know about that. All right, what does it mean to solve a quadratic equation? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to find the x-intercepts. All right? What does that mean? Well, here's a graph of a quadratic equation. What we're looking for are the x-intercepts. There they are. We're going to be finding the x values of the x-intercepts. And guess what the y value of the x-intercepts is going to be? 0. All right, let's go on. How are we going to factor a quadratic equation? Well, first of all, we're going to change the trinomial, there's your trinomial, into the product of two binomials. So when we get done, we're going to change that trinomial into two binomials. Let's get started. Before you start solving a quadratic equation, the equation must be in standard form. Well, what does that look like? All right, notice we have ax squared. The leading coefficient that goes with the x squared is always an a. Then the b goes with the x, and then c is your constant. Don't forget also, guys, you want to factor out your greatest common factor, all right, before we start. Well, example 1, let's get started. All right, we have 6x squared minus 11x minus 10 equals 0. It is a quadratic, it is in standard form, and I don't see anything we can factor out. Now remember, we are going to take this trinomial and we are going to change it into the product of two binomials. That's why I put down my double parentheses first. In the Berry method, we look at our first term, which is 6x squared, and I put 6x and 6x, okay, as my first term in my binomials. All right, now with the Chicago method, I'm going to look at the negative 11, my b. It's negative. I'm going to put that negative in the first parentheses. Now to get what goes in the second parentheses, I'm going to multiply that negative b times negative 10. Notice a negative times a negative will give me a positive, and that's what I put in my second parentheses. All right. Now we're going to go back to the old diamond method. I use railroad crossings. Okay, I go to Chicago in the train. All right. Remember ABC? What goes on the top of your diamond method? A times C. So that's going to be 6 times 10. When we use the Chicago method, we don't care if it's negative or positive, okay? Which is kind of nice. Remember, B goes on the bottom. Again, I don't care if it's negative or positive, I just put 11. I need to list the factors of 60s, and I'm going to write them all down. There we go. All right. Now, what are going to be my factors? How can I figure that out? Well, I go to C and notice it's negative. That means I want to subtract and get 11. Which set of pair of factors can I subtract and get 11? 4 and 15. Now, crucial with the going to Chicago. Put your larger factor in front. That's 15. Your smaller in the second parentheses. Now, remember how we threw that extra 6 in there? We got to factor it out now. So what are we going to do? Well, let's put down another set of parentheses. Let's look at this first 6x minus 15. What can I factor out? 3. What am I left with? I'm left with 2x minus 5. Now we're going to look at 6x plus 4. What can I factor out? A 2. That leaves me with 3x plus 2. I am going to multiply the 3 times the 2. See how I get 6x, open parentheses, 2x minus 5, close parentheses, open parentheses, 3x plus 2, close parentheses, equals 0. Take each one of my factors and set it equal to 0. Run out of room. Next slide. There's our original problem. I'm going to put down my different factors. I set them all equal to 0. Wait a minute. 6 equals 0 is just stupid. Get rid of it. All right, we're left with 2 binomials, right? And we're going to set them equal to 0. Okay, here we go. Got to solve. Bam, bam, bam. X is 5 over 2. Let's do the other one. 3x plus 2, subtract 2, divide by 3. There we go. X is equal to negative 2 over 3. It is a quadratic. We should have 2 answers. Okay? These are my x values for my x-intercepts. Let's do another one. All right, example 2. We have 8x squared minus 10x plus 3. Are we ready to go? What am I going to do? Trinomial into a binomial. Oh, wait a minute, stop. Do I have it in standard form? Yes. Can I factor anything out? No. All right, let's go. Berry method says put your 8x in the first thing into each of the parentheses. Chicago method says look at your B and put whatever that sign is. It's negative. It also goes a negative times a positive, negative times a positive. That's going to give me a negative. Double check. Negative times a negative. Yes, I will get a positive 3. All right, diamond method. Bam, there it is. I got my ABC. What goes on the top of the diamond method? A times C. A times C is going to give me 24. Put the B on the bottom. I don't care if it's negative or positive. It's 10. What are my factors of 24? Do I have them all? I think I do. Now, look at the C. It's positive, so I want to add and I want to get 10. What can I add and get 10? 4 and 6. Yes. The big one goes first. The little one goes second. Now, remember how I put that 8 in there twice? I need to factor it out. I need to factor out my greatest common factor. Double parentheses. Let's look at the first one. 8x minus 6. What can I factor out? 2. That leaves me with 4x minus 3. Okay. Second guy. What can I factor out of 8x minus 4? 4. That leaves me with 2x minus 1. Remember how I multiplied the 3 and the 2 together? Well, this time it's 2 times 4 gives me 8. Look what I got. Set them all equal to 0. Let's go to the next slide. Bam, here I am. All right. There are my products, my factors. Notice how I set them all equal to 0. 8 does not equal 0. That's what we factored out. Get rid of it. All right. Solve the first one. Add 3. Come in, divide by 4. X is equal to 3 over 4. Second one. Come in, add 4, add 1, divide by 2. I get X is 1/2. We've got it, guys. All right. I hope this helped you. Remember, I just solved what? A quadratic equation. It's a trinomial that we're using this factoring method. All right. I set it equal to 0. I changed that trinomial into 2 binomials. I set them equal to 0. And I solve for X. I hope this helped you. Bye, guys.